All right, and we back on the forecast. Now, the NFL has decided to suspend Ezekiel Elliott for 6 games for alleged domestic violence. Now, as far as the NFL, me myself, I'm not watching it. I don't even see how I can watch it again. And these NFL owners who own all of these African Americans.
Back out to our auctioneer, and earlier today, Al Wheeler auctioning off Antonio Brown.
Next up for auction, we got Antonio Brown. Do I hear $20? $20, we're going to one, we're going to one, two, 22, we're going to three, bid three, we're going to one, bid four, we're going to five, we're going to five, bid six, and seven, we're going to be, we're going to be, now nine, bid $30, bid one, two, 33, we're going to one, bid four, we're going to five, $35, going to be $6, now 7, 8, 38, we're going to be now nine, $40, bid one, $41, bid two, three, four, five, $45. We all learn all done. Sold $44 to the man up front, the crazy man, wild man. Next on the auction block, we got Odell Beckham Jr. Do I have $15? $15, we're going to 15, 16, 17, we're going to $18, now 19, going to be 20, 21, we're going to 2, 3, $24, bid 5, 6, 7, 27, 28, we're going to bid 9, 9, going to be $30, bid 1, 31, we're going to buy $31, 1, we're going to buy $30, bid the 1, 2, 2, 3, 34, 34, y'all are all done. Sold 34 to Shiny Top, $34.
And just knowing the fact that every time these people get on the field, well, yeah, they could get killed on any given play. Not only that, but what's going on with this whole CTE thing that's coming out. And even if my brothers didn't care and they still wanted to play, if they said fuck the NFL, because they see what's going on too, but if they said fuck the NFL, put all of their money together and just say, hey, we're going to build our own league, or take the people with money and build their own league, or us as regular people can contribute and say, build your own league. All of us can contribute to it, and I'll support it. But at the same time, you can't just tell somebody to quit their job any more than you can go up to some regular person working a 9 to 5 and say, quit your job unless you work for a black owned company. Unless you own your own company, quit your job. You can't work for no white man if he can't. And you can't just blame them for not going to their job. But as far as the Ezekiel Elliott case goes, that's just the NFL showing you the dictatorship that it has. Here you have another incident, which is the story of America, where you have a history where more times than not, it has been proven that the white woman was in fact lying on the black man. And in this case, there is so much evidence pointing towards that being the case again. Even though you don't hear it reported much on TV, here you have a girl saying, I'm going to set you up, I'm going to ruin your career. Who said, I'm a white woman, you're a black athlete. Who are they going to believe? Who told her friend to lie for her if the police ask? And the NFL talking about they got some kind of evidence that led them to the suspension. Maybe they should give it to the police, because the police didn't find enough to press charges on them. And the fact that all of these places that talked about these stories did not bring all of the truth to the forefront. They didn't talk about all of these issues going on with this woman, which should tell you something in itself. And, thanks to our ancestors, at least he wasn't charged, because before they probably would have just hung him. But thanks to our ancestors, at least the police actually did investigation and found out, hey, well, she's probably lying, so we can't really charge him with anything. Now, I have noticed a pattern with these athletes where they seem to all be instilled with this mindset of conforming to the way society is, the way it's supposed to be. And when you think about it, these guys are super warriors. They are huge and they are fast and they are strong. And when I heard somebody put it that way, I see why it's so important for them to instill a certain mindset in them from the time that they're children. And that's why a lot of these athletes come from these collegiate paths. Because if they were to ever realize that they are the NFL, and if they were to ever say, fuck it, we just gonna do our own thing, then the whole system would collapse.
How do you feel, Tim, about Marshawn Lynch choosing not to stand for the national anthem?
Why, man? Why bring this on yourself? I mean, he has the perfect thing going on in Oakland. Why bring negativity to this incredible positive situation? So now you got Jack Del Rio on skates trying to figure out what to say. I'm sure they're going to be trying to get to Mark Davis, and Reggie, man. I don't know. I just don't get it. I understand these guys, man. They trying to make statements and they're trying to, be a part of this world. But football is where people go to get away from all that stuff.
Should Marshawn stand next week?
I hope so, man. I hope so. I mean, I hope this is a preseason thing. He's not suiting up. He's not whatever. And I just hope he's just ignoring it from that standpoint. But I just would hate to see this season be marred with people protesting him and all that kind of stuff.
And we wonder why these players say the things that they say. They suffer from severe Stockholm syndrome. And they get them to chase after all of these white women, marry these white women, and then when they divorce them, now all of that NFL money is going back into some white household. And brothers, I know that there are attractive white women, all right, and we are men, but we are at war. And this is a war strategy that has always worked. And the outcomes that we have had when we deal with white women have not been good for the most part throughout the complete history of America. So how could we expect any different now? And I personally won't be satisfied until black men and white women get the same treatment in society. When you look at the sentencing gap, white women do the least amount of time, black men do the most. And I know everybody want to talk about patriarchal society and, the white men are responsible and we definitely should keep them in the spotlight. But no one ever brings up the role that white women have in all of this. They are the backbone of the white dominant society, if you ask me. When it comes to civil rights, it is white women who benefit the most. They love to say affirmative action. We did that for black people and you're still complaining. When really it says minority. And minority is vague as shit. Because white women are considered the minority. But what definition are we going by? Because it cannot be size of population. White women is the largest demographic in America and is the largest voter bloc in America. And not only did Donald Trump win the vote of white women, Obama did horrible with white women. Both Romney and McCain won with white women and white people in general because they love to say, well, if it wasn't for white people, Obama wouldn't be in office. Well, white people didn't vote for Obama to be in office. But people are sleeping on the power that white women have. White women own the government funding. White women own the courts. And if you're a black man in America and a white woman turns on the waterworks, you're in trouble.
Don't ever marry a white woman in California. A lot of you sisters probably don't marry white women anyway, nigga. Shit. Why should you be happy? Sisters look at you though like you killed your mama when you're out with a white woman, don't they? You can't laugh that shit off either. She's not with me. My wife went to court, man. She looked like she was 12 years old. I said, who is that bitch? And Your Honor, everything happened. Judge started crying. Nigga, we want everything. Do you have any dreams? We want them too.
It don't matter if you're Richard Pryor. It don't matter if you're Ezekiel Elliott. It don't matter if you're Shabazz that work at Walmart. These women are dangerous. We need to build our family structure back up. We need to build our economy back up. And we need to teach our children how to be successful. And we have to leave them in position where they're in control over themselves. But all of that takes discipline. And it takes discipline to win a war. And as long as we're not in control of our own fate, where we control our own governments and make our own decisions, we are still in war.
National anthem before the Raiders preseason game on Saturday. Jack Del Rio said Lynch told him that he's been sitting for the anthem for the past 11 years. After the game, Del Rio talked about Lynch's decision. Let's take a listen.
On Marshawn, talked to Marshawn, want to make sure we're on the same page. He said, this is something I've done for 11 years. It's not a form of anything other than me being myself. I said, okay. I said, so you understand how I feel. I very strongly believe in standing for the national anthem, but I'm going to respect you as a man. You do your thing, okay? And we'll do ours. So that's a non-issue for me.
First of all, I want to make sure people understand I love the military. My father was in the military. I love hot dogs like any other American. I love football like any other American, but I don't love segregation. I don't love riots. I don't love oppression. I don't love gender slander, and I just want to see people have the equality that they deserve, and I want to be able to use this platform to continuously push the message of that. I'm being vulnerable right now. There's a whole bunch of people right now that sitting at home judging me, but they'll never get to this point where they can get and be vulnerable. I let people attack me because they don't believe what I believe in, but at the end of the day, I'm being vulnerable to show every kid, no matter what, show every person, no matter what you believe in, keep fighting for it. Keep fighting for the equality. Keep fighting for the oppression of people. Keep trying to change society.
A former Tulsa police officer acquitted of killing a man has some advice to share. The lawyer for Betty Shelby says her client plans to speak to a group of roughly 3,500 officers about what to do if they're charged in a shooting. Shelby resigned from the Tulsa Police Department in July, but she's already back in uniform after being sworn in as a Rogers County Reserve deputy. Sheriff Scott Walton says he wanted to publicly announce her position since her manslaughter trial was just a couple months ago.
I will continue to serve the great state of Oklahoma and strive to improve the relationships between law enforcement agencies, organizations, and our community.
Rogers County has 31 reserve deputies, all of whom are unpaid volunteers.
The wheels of justice in the Markeith Lloyd murder case are temporarily halted as State Attorney Aramis Ayala challenges the governor's order to hand the case over to another prosecutor. Ayala refuses to seek the death penalty, which is drawing the ire of Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Her job is to uphold the laws of the state of Florida and the citizens of Orange County. And in what she did, sends a very dangerous message to criminals in Orange County.
As indicated in her tweet Monday, Bondi thinks Ayala's decision is a blatant neglect of duty and a shameful failure to follow the law.
You have to weigh and consider the death penalty, and to let her personal views interfere with her duty as a state attorney is abhorrent.
According to the Florida Constitution, a governor may suspend from office any state officer for malfeasance, misfeasance, or neglect of duty.
This is not neglect of duty. This is an exercise of discretion.
Retired Circuit Judge O.H. Eaton believes Ayala is on legal, solid ground.
I think she has the authority to seek the death penalty or not seek the death penalty as she chooses.
Though Eaton believes Ayala has taken a legal misstep. He says in order to challenge a governor's executive order, Ayala needs to file a lawsuit in Tallahassee in Leon Circuit Court. The matter will be heard next week during another status hearing for Lloyd.
Charged with a misdemeanor, OU football player Joe Mixon escaping assault and battery charges. KFCO's Dave Dentling live outside where that knockout took place with a look at the charges this running back now faces. Dave?
Hey, good evening, Morgan. Well, the DA says the statute that Mixon was charged under eliminates the he said, she said. Now, we do know both parties involved hit the other, but tonight it comes down to a man hitting a woman and public decency.
It's just she got hurt really bad as a result of his acts, and it was immoral to do so.
Cleveland County District Attorney Greg Mashburn summing up the charge against OU running back Joe Mixon. The misdemeanor acts resulting in gross injury. And it all comes down to Joe Mixon hitting Amelia Molitor back in July at Pickleman's Gourmet Cafe. What went down was all caught on camera. The footage is not being released because it's evidence. But according to investigators, the altercation on July 25th started over a homosexual slur.
Comes off the table and pushes Mr. Mixon in the chest with 2 hands. He jumps back into her face. She turns and slaps him across the lower cheek and neck area, and then he responds immediately with 1 punch that knocks her to the floor.
Mixon's attorney upset Molitor isn't being charged with assault. Kevin Finley issued a statement reading in part, "We strongly disagree with the events portrayed by Norman PD. Justice knows no gender bias, and we do not believe that Joe's actions were criminal in nature." On College Corner, where the incident took place, people are weighing in, most favoring the DA's position.
It's never okay to, hit a woman, so even if you are a football player.
And tonight, it is unclear if Joe Mixon will return to the football field. OU's athletic department saying they are reviewing the incident. Now, again, Joe Mixon is expected back in court on Monday.
Our big story tonight at 10 is disgusting. An Arizona mother behind bars accused of molesting children and then selling videos of the grotesque acts online.
She told investigators she did it for money. And the way 28-year-old Carrie Harwood got busted was a twist of fate involving Pokemon Go.
Team 12's Monique Riego has details you'll hear on just one station tonight. Monique.
Hey guys, well, Harwood has been here at the 4th Avenue jail ever since deputies raided her home, and tonight we found out it was actually one of her friends that turned her in.
Carrie Ann Harwood.
Carrie Harwood in front of a judge facing charges for allegedly committing a series of sickening sex crimes against her own children. Court documents show the 28-year-old mother is accused of recording herself molesting the 3- and 6-year-old, then selling the videos online.
We expect that parents are going to care and protect their biological children or their children in any capacity. So to see this, it's so egregious.
Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Penzone telling 12 News deputies got a tip from one of Harwood's friends who allegedly found the videos.
He did a little bit of his own detective work.
Investigators say Harwood gave the tipster access to her email account so he could help her catch Pokemon in the popular cell phone app Pokemon Go. MCSO says the friend found the videos and PayPal transactions in that email account from the man who allegedly paid for them.
I commend him, I really do, and I'm thankful that he came forward.
Documents allege Harwood recorded the molestations during the children's bath time at her New River home. During her police interview, investigators say Harwood admitted committing the acts and sending the videos to a man she met online who paid for them, saying she needed the money.
Now, complete strangers in other parts of the world will pay to see a product such as this, which is just so disgusting and offensive, and a child is victimized.
Penzone says law enforcement is always developing new ways to find and prosecute pedophiles who try to hide in the dark underbelly of the internet.
There will be evidence, and we're going to acquire the evidence, and we're going to hold you accountable and put you behind bars.
And Harwood is being held on a $150,000 bond. She is not allowed to have any contact with her children or any other minor.